What's new, Drac?
Well, lots of stuff. I know we try to limit this to one record, so I was just like, I don't know what to pick because I have been on a little bit of a buying spree, we'll say maybe. So I have quite a few
Is it
things that
tax
are
return related?
could be.
Yeah,
It might be. Yes.
yeah.
Maybe I spent. I'm saving some of that for a trip I'm taking this summer too. But
Hmm.
I was just like, you know what? There's some stuff, and I found a source for the unofficial vinyl that we talk about quite a bit on there. So I picked up quite a few unofficial releases here lately too. That I found a really good source for that. But the one that I wanted to point out is one of my favorite bands. It's a brand new band. It's called Spirit Box. I've talked about them before. They have a new album out called Tsunami Sea. Just came out. And I realize we're only into the end of March, so we're just not very far into the year. But I'm going to make a bold prediction for myself, at least. Now, I don't know what all the critics are going to say or whatever. But this album that I'm about to show by Spirit Box is the album of the year for me. Hands down so far.
Excellent.
So it's gonna take a lot to beat this album. But this album, like I said, is called Tsunami Sea. I'll show you the vinyl at first. This is the web store exclusive cover. It's got liquid in it. I don't know if you can see that.
I saw that ahead of time. You shared that with me ahead of time, and I
Yeah.
have to admit I don't know how I feel about that. I think I
Well,
kind of don't like it.
I was gonna bring that up. I am not storing it like this. There is
Okay.
no way I'm leaving this stored in here like this. I have it in here to show off right now, but yeah, because let me actually take this
Because
out of
at
here.
some
and-
point
and-
that's going to break.
exactly, and that is the first thing I said. This is like gimmicky to all gimmick. I mean, it's cool looking, but the way they have this down in there, I don't know if that's showing up on camera or not, but that's gonna rip or break at some point. And this whatever this liquidy ink is gonna go everywhere. So yeah, I am not storing my vinyl in there like that. I'm
Good for you.
I'm
Good for
keeping
you.
that.
Also,
Yep.
can I interrupt you quick? Can you put that back up? That's
Sure.
a PVC sleeve, is it not?
It is.
So
It is,
on
and that
top
is
on
another
top of
reason.
it leaking for that, you have to
Yes.
worry about PVC off gassing, which is a
Yes.
real thing. I have seen it
Yes.
myself.
Yes, and that is another reason
Yep.
why I am not doing that. And that was the first thing when I first opened this package. I'm like, you did not use a PVC sleeve for this. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
they
like,
would because it's tougher, right? So it will hold up for a long time, but
it's
eventually it'll
pretty
crack.
thick. But yeah,
Yeah, eventually it's
yeah,
going to
no,
crack,
that's
and that stuff's going everywhere. So
100%. So yeah, so
yeah,
I'm storing it like I always store it. This is staying separate, and then I'm gonna keep that. And then like if somebody comes over or whatever, and they're like show me a cool album cover, and I'm like, I gotcha. And
that's
then this
tough.
almost, yeah, this
Yeah.
almost could have went on the best looking records that we're gonna have later. This is the black splattered vinyl, which I thought was really super pretty.
Oh, it
But
looks
yeah,
amazing. That really does look amazing, and I bet
but
the
yeah,
album is really
but
good too.
it is,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is, yeah. It's and like I said, they're a brand new band. That is their sophomore album. Their metalcore is if you want to get the genre that they're associated with. So yeah, so check it out. Like I said, that right now, so far, it's gonna take a lot to beat that as my album of the year, and I realize we're only in March, but yeah. But if you bought that from their website, don't store that in that liquid sleeve because that is bad news.
That pressing would cause me anxiety because of that outer. Because normally, and I had to do this myself for a record that I'm not featuring here, but I purchased in recent weeks because I had a PVC outer. I had to throw it away, even though it had a hype sticker on it, because I do not save PVC outers because they will,
Yep.
and they've off-gassed on at least one of my Residence records. I've got the proof.
I have.
But you can't throw that away because that's such an intrinsic part of the collector's part of the package. So that means forever now you're storing this bit of PVC with crap in it somewhere near your collection?
Yes. And then what I'm doing is my records are behind me. That is going to be stored in my office, which is down a hallway that way. It's going to be nowhere near my records. So when that thing breaks, it might get on my floor and probably stain my carpet, but I can live with stained carpet not ruining a record. So yeah.
Maybe you should just throw it away then and be done with it. And just not worry about it.
Be
okay with the fact if someone's like, does it have the outer water? It's like, it did, and I threw it away.
Yeah, it did. Because it was I mean, okay, I'm like I said, I try to be positive on the show, but Spiritbox, if you happen to be watching our little podcast here, if you are, you guys are amazing. This is the greatest album you've ever put out, which is saying something because Eternal Blue was really good too. But why did you do that? Like, that was, I'm assuming that was somebody at the record company's like, we need something cool for all these vinyl people, and this is the coolest thing we can come up with. But
is this a Spiritbox album to get if you don't know Spiritbox?
Yes. Awesome. I would say yes. It's a little easier to get into than Eternal Blue, which was the first album. It has more. Spiritbox does the thing with Courtney LaPlante is the lead singer, and she can go from singing, which she has an amazing singing voice, to like the growl scream of metalcore, and she can do that interchangeably.
Nice.
It's amazing how she does it, and this album shows that off. Like, there are some songs where she is singing, and then all of a sudden she does that growl thing, and then she goes right back into singing. So I would say this is more approachable than Eternal Blue, but I recommend them both. Like I said, they're like my top 5 bands of all time, and they're a new band, but they're just that good. But yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Tsunami Sea from Spiritbox.
Yeah.
Check it out. Just don't buy that weird.
Yeah. And you're right. Outside of that outer, though, the record looks fantastic and the cover looks great and everything else looks good about it. So cool.
It does. And I may or may not own 3 other pressings of that too that look different.
Yeah. See, that's how you differ from me. I would, gosh, are you kidding me? I have 2 of one Beefheart record and I still feel bad about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's maybe a topic that I guess I can cover, and you can just tell me how dumb I am for owning like 5 of the same record just because the vinyl looks different. Guilty. Like, I can name you 3 bands that I do that for. It's like, ooh, I gotta have that pressing. I gotta have that pressing. I gotta have that. Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about with my What's New, which I am actually pleased to say is wonderful as well. And this is a new release of Testament's Practice What You Preach on, quote, orange bone swirl vinyl. My personal record doesn't seem to have a lot of swirl in it, but it looks cool. So,
it does look cool.
Yeah.
I
go ahead.
Have to pick that up yet. I have not picked that up, and that's interesting. You say that about yours doesn't have a lot of swirl in it. I've noticed that because I've seen people like, I've bought a release that's like a swirl release or something. And then I've seen people on YouTube show the records off, and I'm like, yours has way more swirl in it. I have like 1 little bit, or I have none.
Before I get to the positive, let me call out one other negative, and that is the printing, unfortunately, on this cover. Has got some banding issues on it. I actually have a record basement where I'm going to go into more specific detail on this pressing. And the reason for that is because I don't buy multiple records, but I'm certainly guilty of buying multiple versions of the same album. But as a result of that, it gave me an opportunity to compare the original mix release CD versus the remaster of this one for vinyl and compare the quality of the pressing to the original CD, but I'm not going to use this part of the show for that. Instead, that's going to get broken out into its own thing for those who care about that sort of thing. Let me give you the short version of the album itself, though. The pressing is fantastic. It sounds the best I have ever heard this album, and I love the sound of the album beforehand as well. And it's my favorite Testament album. It's so good.
Agreed.
And it's so good to have a new release of this on vinyl. So even kind of minor issues with the cover and such aside, it's wonderful. And the album sounds so good. The pressing sounds so excellent that I just have top marks for it. Top marks. So
that's on my list to buy, actually. So that's one I will be looking at getting. And that just came out too, right? Just like
just in recent weeks,
I think.
Yep, just got released.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'll talk more about this album perhaps in a future show, but I love Testament, and it's the one that, like, their earlier stuff I think had some really cool creative ideas, and their later stuff is also really good. But I think Practice What You Preach is that point that they hit that I love the best, which was sort of the raw intensity of the earlier stuff, plus the developed skills as a band of the later stuff.
Right.
That apex is Practice What You Preach, in my opinion. And I loved the old sound of the album, and I like this new one even quite a bit better because they removed some of the 90s style kind of mastering that was prevalent at the time with like reverb and some of that kind of thing. So it just sounds clean. It sounds much cleaner, and it sounds great.